Hey guys, David here and welcome to the Fit Pro Daily. This week has been all about the ins and outs of running a successful fitness business. And as it's a Friday, I want to give you a real quick overview of everything we've covered so far this week. But before I do dive into it, if you haven't already joined us inside our free group on Facebook, head over to Facebook, search for Fit Pro Lead Gen with Dave, request to join and get access to even more guides, trainings, insight, guest interviews and so much more. Anyway, let's dive into this week's overview. Okay, so on Monday we invited Sam Beagle on to share his insight into what it's like running a successful fitness business and how long it took him to actually get the studio that he wanted. Because a lot of effort goes into getting your own studio. It's not as easy as just going onto Rightmove or Zoopla, locating a unit and going from there. You have to submit planning permission if the unit needs to change, and that then has its own issues of will the council accept it, will a landlord actually want this to happen, and then are you going to get any objectives from the local people to get this change of use done? All these things can take a very long time to happen, or you could be in a great situation where it just goes really smoothly and you have nothing to worry about. So if you wanted more advice, wanted more insight into the type of things that Sam was talking about on Monday, then go and check that video out. On Tuesday then, we looked at the 5 things that you really need to be working on to make sure that your fitness business not only grows but thrives and succeeds. And the first thing we started off was find your niche. Try and start working with a specific type of audience so you can command a reasonable price for the service that you offer, and it will be much easier to attract those people. From there, then we looked at working on your finances. Instead of just picking a number out of the sky of how much you're going to charge, really understand how much everything is costing you, how much you really should be charging, so you know the exact price to actually not only be able to pay yourself, but to also to have a profit. Moving from there then, we looked at the location side of things. So going a little bit about what we talked on Monday was finding a great location to be able to run your fitness business from. If you're in the middle of the woods and you've got no A-roads, no motorways around you, it's going to be a lot harder to attract people from a wider audience. So make sure when you do it looking for a location, you find that right perfect so you can attract as many different types of people from around you into your fitness business as possible. Then the fourth part was planning. Make sure you plan everything. Don't just rush into things. Don't just make things up as you're going along. Yeah, you know you will have to do it from time to time, but the more you plan, the better you're going to be, the more focused you are to be able to make sure this succeeds. And then the final thing we talked about was the advertising. How we're going to get people interested in your fitness business, from organic side of things to connecting with local businesses, partnering with people, getting referrals, reactivations, social media posts, emails, and everything unpaid. And then looking at paid, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and all that great stuff to be able to get a load of people into your fitness business as quick as possible. Organic is usually the slow way, paid is usually the fast way. We then moved into Wednesday and looked at what was working right now. And what was working right now, and it's always going to be the same, is having an entry offer into your fitness business. Not trying to get someone to commit to a 24-month or 36-month contract right now, but getting them in, enticing them with some sort of entry offer. It could be a 6-week challenge, a 21-day Kickstarter, a 28-day trial, a 10-week rapid results program, just anything that's going to get them in the door now, so you can then convince them, warm them up and sell to them so they can stay for the long term. Moving on there for Thursday, the foundational tip we had this week was plan. The more you can plan, the better in control you're going to be, the more likely these things are going to happen, and the more people are going to stay with you. If you plan your lead gen strategy, you're going to have a better chance of making sure it's successful. If you plan how you're going to sell, the chances are you're going to sell better. If you plan what the onboarding is or what it's like to stay with you for the long term, the more likely these people are to stay with you for the long term. Anyway, enough of me for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the content we've given you this week. As usual, if you do, comment below, like, reach out, ask us any questions that you do have. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll speak to you all on Monday. Cheers.